Good evening, everybody. How you doing this evening? I hope you ladies out there have had a good Mother's Day today. You're a mom. I hope you had a good Mother's Day today. Even if you're going to be a future mother, have a good Mother's Day today. I'm going to read something for you today from Psalms 139, starting in verse 13. For you formed my inward parts. You covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in secret, and skillfully wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Your eyes saw my substance, being yet unformed. And in your book they were written, the days fashioned for me, when as yet there were none of them. How precious also are your thoughts to me, O God! How great is the sum of them! Wow. For you formed me. For you formed my inward parts. You covered me in my mother's womb. Wow. He formed us. We came from Adam and Eve. We didn't come from moss. We didn't come from monkeys. We didn't come from a whale or a fish. We came from Adam and Eve. He formed us. In Genesis chapter 2, he breathed into the dust of man and gave him the breath of life. Then he put man into a deep sleep because there was no partner found appropriate for man. So he put man in a deep sleep and took a rib out of man's side and formed woman. And that very word, woman, means man with a womb. Means man with a womb. He made us in the very depths. Verse 14, I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. He said, the psalmist says, I will praise you because I know that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Man has not made artificial life yet that compares to the human body. And what I mean by artificial life, I mean robots. Man has not made a machine, a robot, compared to the human body, nor can he do so or will so. Make a machine or make a robot greater than the human body. There's nothing greater than the human body. It's fearful and wonderfully made. He says, I know your marvelous works, and that my soul knows very well. How does a soul know them very well? That God created him, created the universe very well. How does King David, the psalmist here, who is King David in Psalms 139, how does he know? He experienced him in his life. You read through King David's life in the book of Kings and in the book of Kings and the book of Chronicles, you will see God working in King David's life. You'll see the Lord working in King David's life and through King David. You will see him. And King David is saying, I know this very well. My soul knows this because I don't got the head knowledge. I got the heart knowledge. I experienced him in my life. So I know very well that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. And that fearfully means awe. You stand in awe. You see a brand new car, so wow, man, brand new Corvette. Looked inside, everything's decked out, leather seats. Get to sit in it. Ooh, comfortable. Look at all the Bluetooth and CD players and automatic and all this cool stuff. You're like, wow. That's what fearfully means. You're wonderfully, fearfully, and wonderfully. Nothing, you and I, your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren are wonderfully made, and we are his crown, God's crown possession. Mankind, humans, are God's crown possession, because we got his spirit living inside us. No other animal on earth has the spirit of the living God. They're alive, they got a soul, but they don't got the spirit of God living in them. That even though they're created, we are his crown. We are his crown possession, because we got his spirit in us. And we got that free will to choose. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in secret and skillfully wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. He knew us, our frame, King David's frame, our body, of how we're going to look, how we're going to look like our parents. It's framed and formed in that secret place, and that secret place is the womb. Your mom's and my mom's womb 48 years ago when I was brought into this world. Brought into the lowest parts of the earth. Verse 16, your eyes saw my substance being yet unformed, and in your book they were written, the days fashioned for me, when as yet there were none of them. Before we were even thought of, God saw us. While our parents didn't know each other yet, God saw us. He helped form and fashion us. Have you ever seen a miscarriage child? The body is there. Or when a baby dies, it's so sad when a baby dies. The body is there, it lays there lifeless. But this life isn't in him. The breath of life is in him. His heart quits beating. The baby's heart quits beating. Even before our substance, even before our parents met, he knew us. He knew our parents were going to have us before our parents knew they were going to have us. How awesome is that? How fearfully and wonderful is that? And they were fashioned even before we came along, even before the days fashioned for me, when as yet they were none of them. And our names were written down, as we read earlier, and in your book they were written, the days fashioned for me. How long were we going to live? How long am I going to live? How long are you going to live? I don't know. You don't know. Only he knows. Because he saw our time span of our life here on earth. And they were written down, they were fashioned, they were written down. Verse 17, how precious also are your thoughts to me, O God. How great is the sum of them. He thinks a lot about you. God thinks a lot about you. He thinks a lot about me. He thinks a lot about his creation. And it says, look, it says, how great is the sum of them. Not one or two or three. Not a little or a lot. But all of them. He thinks about you. Thinks about me. How great is the sum of them. How big the number of those thoughts that he thinks about us, that he cares for us, that he protects us, that he provides for us. He cares for you. He cares for all of his creation. Remember, he created you. And we can't live without him. Have a blessed night, and remember, to die is to gain. To live is for Christ Jesus. Have a blessed week, and have a good Mother's Day, moms.